everyone, it is game day for the Dallas Cowboys. We are taking on the Cincinnati Bengals on Monday Night Football tonight at 7:15 p.m. Be there, obviously, be watching. It's going to be a fun one. However, in today's first video, we are going to be reacting to the conference championship games that were going to be played this past weekend. We obviously do this every Monday for the most part, react to all the games that were being played. We do this throughout the week, but since there's only a certain number of games, since it's conference championship weekend, we are going to just react to every single game and talk about it as well. However, if you guys are new to the channel, you already know what to do. Leave a like, subscribe, turn that bell on, as we do our best to post on this channel every single day. Later today, you guys are going to have my NBA Cup predictions. We're going to save college football playoff predictions for Wednesday along with the NFL predictions. Tomorrow, we'll talk NFL reactions and we'll look at the bracket. We'll break it down, but we won't give our full predictions on it until Wednesday for the college football playoff. Thursday, we'll play some little EA Sports college football in there since we haven't hit that in a while. Friday, we'll do our Baylor Dynasty and talk a little SEC men's hoops in there as well for you guys. So, that is the pretty much schedule of the week. Obviously, it is game day for the Dallas Cowboys. The 9-0 playoff run will, in fact, start today. We have to go 9-0 to win the Super Bowl. I think it's doable. I think we can do it. We just got to win and have a great game plan going forward. So, with that being said, you already know my prediction for tonight. The Cowboys are going to get the job done. Let's go ahead and hop in to these SEC championship game reactions and, of course, the rest of the conference championship games as well. Alright, so kicking us off on Friday Night Football, we had UNLV going into Boise State. I was flipping back and forth between this one and the state championship game on Friday night. Of course, UNLV falls to Boise State 21-7. I think that was pretty much a given. Ashton Jeanty leading the way with 209 yards on the game as well. Obviously, he played a really important factor in the Boise State win. It was a rematch, so obviously there was going to be a little bit of skepticism on if the Boise State Broncos could get the job done against this UNLV team. However, they have shown time and time again why they are a college football playoff team. They got in the college football playoff, receiving a bye. Spoiler alert, we'll also break that down tomorrow as well. But they showed why they are a really great team. This quarterback is really, really solid for Boise State. The running back, obviously, Ashton Jeanty, is a Heisman Trophy contender right now. The defense played a really solid game, I thought, on Friday night as well. So everything was clicking, obviously, for, of course, the Boise State Broncos. And that is how they got the job done at home, I guess, in the American Championship game as well. Now, let us go to Army, where, of course, we had top 25 ranked Army hosting Tulane, and Army getting the job done with a score of 35-13. Now, again, Army's offense was obviously clicking the entire game. The defense is what got the job done for me, though. They held, obviously, Tulane to 14 points, but I believe in that first half, they didn't really score a whole lot. Quote me if I'm wrong there, but they didn't really score that much, and of course Tulane ended up falling to Army on the road. Was not able to watch this game, so I don't really know what happened. I'm going to be straight up with y'all, but from the looks of it, Army did in fact get the win, and yeah, they are still a top 25 team in the country going into this weekend's Army-Navy game as well. Now, the final game on Friday before we talk about our Power 4 Conference Championship games, of course, Western Kentucky going into Jacksonville State. TJ Finley and the Western Kentucky Hilltoppers fall to Jacksonville State 52-12. Obviously, not a great game from Western Kentucky and TJ Finley. Obviously, the offense was not there for them. The defense allowed 52 points to Jacksonville State. Jacksonville State was clicking, and yeah, it definitely showed on Friday night as well. Again, the only game that I really watched because of the state championship games going on was, of course, Boise State and UNLV, but it looks like Jacksonville State handled that one pretty single-handedly, and Army, of course, got the job done at home as well to recap the Friday night and conference championship weekend. All right, let's talk about the games that happened on Saturday. Of course, we had Iowa State, the first game of the day in the Big 12 championship game, getting absolutely blown out by Arizona State in the Big 12 championship game. Arizona State, Cam Scabado looks like a really, really solid running back for the Arizona State team. I don't know what their mascot is called. Quote me if I'm wrong there. But, yeah, Sam Levitt played a really, really solid game as well. The quarterback for Arizona State, I thought that they kind of got themselves together after a slow start. Now, the first quarter and the second quarter, it was a very slow start, but once they found their rhythm, once they kind of broke down this Iowa State defense on the first time or two, then of course they went off, and Cam Scabado was able to secure, of course, the MVP of the Big 12 championship game as well. And Arizona State will in fact get the job done against Iowa State as they did, and they secured a college football playoff bye as well. Now, let's go ahead and talk Ohio going into Miami of Ohio. I was not watching this game. Obviously, I was watching this Big 12 championship game. But from the looks of it, it was a very, very boring game. If you're asking me, obviously, Ohio getting the job done. 38-3 says that. The quarterback for Miami of Ohio, or for Ohio's Parker Navarro, was of course 235 passing yardage as well. I thought he played a solid game from the highlights of this game. Again, was not able to watch this game at all, but from the looks of it, Ohio, the offense was clicking, everything was clicking, and yeah, they were definitely able to get the job done against Miami of Ohio as well. Now, let's go ahead and talk about the SEC championship game. Georgia going into Texas and Atlanta. Georgia getting the job done in a thriller of a game, if you are asking me. Carson Beck goes down in the second half, right? Georgia's feeling down on themselves. Kirby Smart gets the boys back up. They're coming up. The second half, they obviously come out with a vengeance to play, and ultimately, they do get the job done. Carson Beck comes back in the game because Gunnar Stockton did, in fact, get the wind knocked out of him on that play. Pray that he's okay. After that, hopefully we have an update sooner rather than later regarding Gunnar Stockton, but that Texas defense did not show up to play in the second half. In the second half, they allowed a lot of short passing games. They were beating them on the slant routes. Georgia was. The running game for Georgia was there. It was just about the quarterback play. Obviously, on the play that Gunnar Stockton did step up when they were on the, I believe, like 10-yard line or so, did in fact get the wind knocked out of them. That was a scary play to see. And, yeah, Georgia ultimately gets the job done off of the starting quarterback coming back into the game and handing the ball off to Trevor Etienne. And Etienne, of course, showing why he is a really, really good running back. And, yeah, gets the job done. I thought for the most part that it was a very sloppy game from both sides of the ball, if you're asking me. I thought Quentin Ewers did not look good at all. I thought if Texas was going to win this game, they would have had to have Arch Manning kind of, play a factor in this game. He did not get on the field at all, I believe, in this SEC championship game. So, yeah, there's that right there. I believe that had to play a little bit of a factor in it of itself. But Georgia ultimately comes out superior and gets the job done and welcomes Texas to the SEC and hands them their first SEC championship loss. Frick Texas, go Dogs, and they got the job done there. Now, let's talk the game that obviously was happening right on it before we talk about the Big Ten and the ACC championship game, the Sun Belt Conference championship game, where everyone thought Louisiana was going to roll over Marshall. Marshall getting the job done, 31-3, and almost shutting out Louisiana. A very solid performance from the Marshall defense. That Marshall defense looked really, really good in this game for the most part. Obviously, holding them to 3 points, holding the quarterback of Louisiana as well, kind of containing him in the pocket, keeping him in there, getting to the quarterback a couple of times. Marshall got the job done, and now Marshall's head coach is now leaving them, I believe, for a different school as well. But Marshall gets the job done in the Sun Belt Conference Championship. Shout out to Marshall for upsetting Louisiana in that one. Now, we can talk about the ACC championship game. Clemson going into SMU. Cade Klubnik getting the job done in this matchup on a walk-off field goal from the Clemson kicker as well. Obviously, we're not going to hit a whole lot on this game. It was just a great comeback from Jennings that fell a little bit short at the end there, gave Clemson a little bit too much time. And, yeah, they got the job done on the road in Charlotte. Obviously, outdoors kind of have that college football playoff vibe to it. It was a very, very thrilling game. The first half was a little bit boring, but the second half was phenomenal done. Well done by SMU. This is the one thing that Alabama fans could not have happened, and it happened. And I'm so thankful that SMU made it a close game and that the committee put them in over the Alabama Crimson Tide to show that it is, of course, an equal college football playoff as well. Penn State going into Oregon, I said it and I will continue to say it. James Franklin will never win a big game as the Penn State head coach. I actually believe, hot take here, spoiler alert, that Penn State is going to lose its whiteout game to SMU in the college football playoff. We'll talk about that on Wednesday, but just a little hint, week for you guys to go check that one out. I believe Penn State will never win a big-time matchup under James Franklin, and that showed right there. Dillon Gabriel played really solid football for the Oregon Ducks. The defense stepped up when it had to, and Oregon got the job done in the Big Ten championship game, and a really, really solid game from both sides of the ball. I just think that Dan Lanning was the better coach, and Oregon got the job done in this one, holding off Penn State. Alright, that is going to do it for the first video of the day. Let me know what you thought of it in the comments down below. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe, turn that bell on, as we do our best to post on this channel every single day. Coming up shortly, you guys are going to have NBA Cup predictions. We'll talk about the NBA Cup bracket, give our bracket predictions on who's going to make it to the semis, all of that good stuff. And, yeah, we will talk the NBA Cup. Obviously, tomorrow we will talk NFL reactions. We'll talk college football bowl season predictions. Wednesday, we'll give our NFL predictions, weekly predictions, and then, of course, college football playoff bracket predictions to go along with those as well. Thursday, we'll play some little EA Sports college football for you guys, and Friday, we will talk about the transfer portal, since the transfer portal has officially opened this morning as well. That is the outlook for the week. Let me know what you thought of the video in the comments down below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, turn that bell on. Thank you all so much for watching, and as always, I'll see you in the next video. Peace.